Welcome to Gem Church Ruiru, where everyone is a gem. You can now stream us live every Sunday on Facebook and Zoom, and download our sermon on YouTube.
Yeah, Matthew 14,
Mathayo 14
22 to 33.
22 hadi 33.
Then we also read Hebrews 10 verse 23.
Alafu tutasoma Waebrania 10 mstari wa 23.
Then we'll do Hebrews 11 verse 1 and 2 and Hebrews verse 6. So if you're in Matthew, let us read together.
Kama uko Mathayo, hebu tukasome pamoja.
Immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side, while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountain by himself to pray. Later that night, he was there alone, and the boat was already a considerable distance from the land, buffeted by the waves, because the wind was against it. Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. It's a ghost, they said, and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid." "Lord, if it is you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat and walked on the water and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the winds, he was afraid and began to sink, crying out, "Lord, save me." Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You little faith," he said, "what did you doubt?" Or why did you doubt? And when they had cried into the boat, the wind died. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God." Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful. Now let's go to Hebrews 11. Where our brother has been reading for us.
Waebrania 11 mahali ambapo ndugu wetu wamekuwa kitusomea.
Then I just read verse 1 and 2, then verse 6.
Mstari wa kwanza na wa pili, alafu mstari wa 6.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtain a good report. Verse 6. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is the rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So the sermon today is faith beyond. Faith beyond. So you can write that. I know it is grammatically wrong, but grammatically right. Faith beyond. Nilishangaa kama naweza weka opposite beyond faith. I realize it cannot happen. But you can say faith beyond. Now that we have believed, what next? Bwana asifiwe. Sasa sababu tumeamini na sisi ni Wakristo, sababu Biblia inatuambia kuwa Paulo aliangalia akaandika Warumi 1:17 kuwa ameangalia kutoka mwanzo hadi mwisho kuwa ni imani peke yake, na wale ambao ni watakatifu wataishi kwa imani. Na akasema Ephesians 2:8 kuwa sisi wote tumeokolewa through faith but by grace. said, beyond faith. As I was meditating upon the word of God, there are some things that we've been talking about. Faith comes by and hearing. That is true. And we are saved by grace through faith. And I want also to say that we say that grace is a gift. And actually, God is God of all grace. But for you to be able to put your hope upon the grace, there's an ingredient that is called faith. Faith, salvation gives us an identity. Tunapookolewa, sisi tunafanyika wana wa Mungu. Kwa hivyo jina lako sasa, you can say you are a son of God comfortably. Sababu wewe umeokolewa. Na nilipokuwa nikiangalia hivyo nikaona kuwa yale maisha tunayoishi leo ninalingana hasa na your level of faith. Let me say this in English. That the faith in God shapes your destiny and the quality of your life. Your faith in God, the equal measure of faith that you have in God after you have believed, shapes your destiny and your life. That now that you have become a son of God, sababu sasa wewe umeokolewa, utaenda mbinguni, hivyo umeokolewa. Lakini ile itafanya wewe ukapate rewards na taji is how you will now add to faith. Are we together? And you must go beyond being just a son. Lazima ukatoke kuwa tu mwana wa Mungu na ukatende kulingana na mahali Mungu anataka kukupeleka. Because faith without action is. So unaweza kuwa na imani lakini kama haina matendo basi imekufa. Na so faith today we have dead Christians. Si nimewaita wa Kristo. Hao ni wa Kristo na ni wazuri na wako kwa imani. Lakini hakuna matendo sababu hawana imani ambayo inaenda zaidi ya kuwa mwani. They have retarded Christians. Ni wana wa Mungu walio okolewa lakini hawakukua. Are we together? If you get a child na hakui, tunapeleka kwa daktari. Ndiposa katika kanisa, I want to make you know that this is a service center. Hii ndio garage ya Mungu. Ndio tuweze kukua katika imani. Ili wakati mahali Mungu anataka kukupeleka, uweze kufika hapo, lazima ukue na kuamini Mungu jinsi alivyo. Sababu kama wewe ni mwana wa Mungu, then you can be able to do as the Lord does. Are we together? It is Christ who said that those who will believe in me, they will do much more than I have already done. It is not my own doing. So why is the church powerless? It is because we have forgotten who we believe. And that is why we started on Sunday and said, who we believe is faithful. Who we believe is unchangeable. Who we believe is omnipresent. Has all the power, has all the knowledge. That's who we believe lives in you. Who is the creator of heaven and earth makes a dwelling in your heart. And so the much you believe in him shapes the kind of life you live. It is very interesting. Sababu mimi naangalia vile Yesu alikuwa anaponya. That was my thesis and that is what I did. Uponyaji wote wa Yesu Kristo alikuwa anasema na ukaponywe kulingana na imani yako. Na so ni wengi wangeponywa na hawakupata uponyaji sababu ya kukosa imani ya kutosha. And also I want to say that the grace of God as abundant as it is So for you to be able to excel this year, you need to increase your faith. Wakati unaposema unataka kuona neema ikitenda kazi katika maisha yako, unahitaji pia ukaweze pia kuinua imani yako kulingana na neema. And so it calls us to go beyond the basics. Going beyond the basics, it calls us to walk by faith and not by sight. It calls us to go and praise the Lord with the faith we have. Can you praise the Lord with the kind of faith you have? That's a question. Faith will call you to go walk on the spot. I want us to go back to Matthew 14. Katika kitabu cha Mathayo 14 tunapata hadithi kila mmoja wetu anaijua, na labda hii umeisikia ikihubiriwa, hata umesikia Pastor Susan akiongea juu yake, lakini I am praying today you get a new revelation in Jesus' name. Wakati pale inapoandikwa, Mathayo anatukumbusha yale mambo yalikuwa yametendeka. Unapoenda kusoma utapata John the Baptist alikuwa ameuawa. And he died because of righteousness. Hakufa sababu alikuwa mbaya, lakini ni sababu aliita yale mambo mabaya akahukumiwa. And remember, John the Baptist was a forerunner of Jesus. And John the Baptist was a prophet. And John the Baptist had the power. He could call, I imagine if he had the John the Baptist today, angesimama aongee Biblia na awaambie what is needed. Angesimama aambie watu wa Biblia what is needed, because that was John the Baptist. He condemned the politics of the day, and that made him die. How many Christians today can go beyond the faith to speak of the ills of the society? That is what we are calling faith beyond. Na alipouawa, they are cousins with Jesus. Yeye na Yesu ni relatives, wanapendana. Yeye ndiye alibatiza Yesu, ndiye aliona mbinguni ikifunguka. Yesu anamwambia usikose kunibatiza ndio to fulfill what was promised. Let us do this. Jesus is moved. And Jesus decides, nitaenda mahali peke yangu, nihuzunike sababu nimempoteza mpendwa wako. And as Jesus departs and moves, a whole crowd of 5,000 men, 5,000 men minus children and women, you can double that number. Sindio? Sisi wanawake hatuendagi bila watoto, so unaenda na mmoja pande hii na mwingine pande hii, so you can imagine the number. Wote wanakuja kwa Yesu, na Yesu tayari moyo wake unahuzunika. Anawashughulikia. Biblia inasema anawaponya, anawapa chakula. Kisha anaona nao kumekuwa ni usiku. Anawaambia the disciples, ninyi endeni kwanza. Endeni mkavuke Galilaya mwende pande ile nyingine, mimi nitawapata. Nani niambie hawa watu waende nyumbani. The Bible starts telling us, and Jesus was tired. He was tired of the politics of the day that had killed his king. He was tired because of the people who never gave him a time to mourn. He was tired of serving them. He was very tired. Sometimes you serve even when you are tired. Alikuwa amechoka. Na alipochoka, akajua kuna yule ambaye ninaweza ambia jinsi nimechoka. Na siwezi nikaweza kumwambia wakati kuna hawa watu wote ama nikiwa na hawa ambao wananifuata. Sababu ninataka wakati ambapo nitaenda nimwambie Baba, I need you to understand what I'm feeling. Na ndiposa Biblia inatuambia akaelekea mlimani, akaenda kuomba. When you are tired, what do you do? Point number 1. Learn to pray when things are not working out. You are that way, you'll go beyond the faith. Anza kuomba hata wakati mambo hayendi vizuri. Sababu wewe ni and go to a place of prayer. Biblia inaendelea kusema alipokuwa mahali pale akiomba, wanafunzi ambao kati yao 5 wao ni wavuvi walikuwa wanavuka mahali pale Galilaya. Na walipokuwa wakienda, Biblia inasema in the 4th watch. The 4th watch is calculated this way because sometimes nawaambiaga tuombe na ninawaambia kila mtu achukue watch. Sometimes maybe you have never learned. According to Hebrews, their day starts at 6. So kutoka 6 unahesabu masaa matatu unapata the first watch. After another 3 hours, another watch. After another 3 hours, another watch. So Jesus is seeing them at the 4th watch. Hiyo ni sababu. Sasa Yesu anawaona watu waliambia 6. Vukeni pande ile nyingine. Something for that means they are still stuck. I said we went to Revelation, isn't it? How stuck are you in your situation? How long have you stayed there? And you're still trying it. They have been there with their own experience, trying to cross the other side. Somewhere they have always crossed, but this time they are stuck. See, they were stuck in the middle. I was telling my brother, it's called kingdom dynamics, where nothing works apart from the grace of God. Because we're surrounded with so much water, but that water is not good for drinking. When you go to Indian Ocean and you are inside there, if you don't have your fresh water, there's so much water but you can't drink that. Kingdom dynamics. That when you are in that garden, hapo ndani, huwezi ukashuka bila kumngojea Yesu. Na huwezi hata ukaambia wale wengine jinsi mtakavyoendelea. You are stuck. And when they were stuck, Jesus was praying. I want you to see some miracles that we have never seen in this text. The first miracle that happens is not walking on water, but Jesus seeing them stuck. Bwana asifiwe. Jinsi Yesu alipokuwa akiomba, sababu Mungu anasema yuko pamoja nasi, anawaona pia they are stuck. Na anaacha maombi, anaanza kushuka. Today God is concerned about your peace. He can leave everything for you. He says he is caring, he leaves 99 for the sake of one. He overturns a house because of one coin. That is God himself. He is so faithful. He is tired, he is mourning, he is communing with God. But because he was God, he left and came to them. If you go back to Exodus 4, God tells Moses that I have heard the cries of the Israelites. I have seen and I have come down. Bwana asifiwe. What is this that you are stuck in? The Lord says, make your things known to me. For he says, for the sake of Israel, I will not be silent. Are you the one who is making God to be silent? Because you're not asking. So Jesus leaves everything and comes and is walking on water. They are terrified and I want us to go from faith beyond fear and putting it into action. Biblia inasema wakaogopa. Ni sababu wakati uko mahali you are stuck and the wind is blowing against you, you can be terrified by anything. Let me give you a funny story. Where tulikuwa tunapeleka maziwa. So tulikuwa tunavuka mto tunapeleka maziwa pande ile nyingine ndio ichukuliwe. Na tulikuwa tunaogopa leopards. Kwetu ni karibu na Abadeas. And my mother was as tough as a leopard. So alikuambia peleka maziwa. She doesn't care whether you'll be eaten by leopards or not. So one day we saw leopards Imaginary leopards. Imaginary. Because of the fear within. When you see, unajua hizi vitu zinaitwa magutu. We saw a very good magutu modified by the Mweli. It was so beautiful that looking like a leopard. And my sister told me, hey, oh guy, and we left that place. We don't even know where the camp went, but we went back home. So when you are in fear, you can see anything. Because they knew that in this ocean there are no ghosts. But what came to their mind is that the only thing that can walk on water is a spirit. God says he's a spirit. Yeye ni roho na wao wanaomwabudu lazima wamwabudu na roho na kweli. Kwa hivyo walijua kile tu kinachoweza kutembea juu ya maji ni roho. And so these are ghosts that are taken a form of our body. They were terrified. As terrified as they were, Jesus tells them, don't fear. It is me. We say that there are 365 don't fear in the Bible. And those for every day. What is making you fear? Ni wili gani ambayo inakusukuma? Ambayo inafanya ukue stuck? Mungu anakuambia usiogope. You need to have the faith beyond that fear, so that you can move from that fear. You need to have faith beyond those problems, so that you can see God. Na wakati Paulo Peter alipokuwa mahali pale, I want you now to see the other miracle that I see. The miracle of asking. Bwana asifiwe. Why was Peter the only one who asked? Because he knew whoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Even Joel had written in the Old Testament that whoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Romans, we are reminded, whoever and all everyone. You know, it means yule mwizi anaweza ita Mungu na okolewe. A prophet can call upon the name of the Lord and be saved, because it is whoever shall call upon the name of the Lord. Why do we call on the name of the Lord? Because who we believe is He is so faithful. Do you know who I am? I am who I am. I am faithful. I am able to carry you through the fire. I am able to take you where you have never been. I am able to make myself known to you. I am God who made the apostles speak new languages. What is it that is so big for me? That is what he asks. Is there something that is too big for me? Ni jambo gani hilo ambalo unaona ni kubwa sana, ambayo hujauliza Mungu akufanyie? Let me tell you, the reason why we don't go faith beyond is because of history. Number one, history. Because in history, people always look at what has been done. Ni nini ambacho imefanyika? Ngoja tujikumbushe kidogo. Hao wanafunzi walikuwa wanajua. Walipokuwa wakisoma kitabu cha Kings chapter 2, walikuwa wanajua ambapo Elisha aliitwa. Maji ilikuwa baya, maji akatengeneza. Alikuwa wanajua 2 Kings 6, wakati shoka ilianguka chini, waliita mtumishi wa Mungu, shoka ikatoka. Walikuwa wanajua wanafunzi wa Israeli walipokuwa jangwani, jiwe lilitoa maji. Walikuwa wanajua Mungu ana uwezo wa kupasua maji, lakini hawako wanajua that anyone can never walk on water. History, background has made people not go beyond faith. And so, for you to go faith, you must ask and be ready to go past your history. Let me say, there are some wanasema mimi siwezi kuhubiri sababu kwetu hakujai kwa mhubiri, siwezi imba sababu kwetu hakujai kwa mwimbaji, siwezi soma zaidi hapa sababu wengine hawajasoma. You can break that barrier and go beyond in the mighty name of Jesus. You need to ask from the Lord. God has no limitation. Mungu hana mapendeleo. Mungu hana kitu ambacho kinampinga, because he's God who is able. And as Peter asked, Jesus tells him, I want you to see now the miracle before he walks. That miracle is accepting to get out of that boat. Environment, that's something that makes people not go beyond faith. Environment ambayo alikuwa nayo, kulikuwa na wengine 11 ambao wako hapa. Wanamwambia tumekuwa hapa masaa haya yote na we are not going anywhere. Sababu tuko we are at the middle. Unatoka uende wapi? The storms is against us. Unatoka uende wapi? The depth of this, you know, when you are at the middle, nasikianga hapo ndio wanapima hadi depth ya that ocean kwa wapi. Do you know the depth of this place? That ukiingia tu hivi, huyo ni Yesu, wewe ni wewe. Wacha kujilinganisha. Ukiingia tu hivi, you are done. Environment. Which environment is pulling you down? For you to go beyond faith, you must go beyond your environment. You must be willing to live. Yesu alisema, hii ndio huyo ufalme ambao ninawaitia, ambao utatenganisha baba na mwana, utatenganisha bibi na bwana. You must be willing to get out of the comfort zone and step by faith and go beyond what can be seen, because just shall live by faith. So the miracle of stepping out was the beginning of his miracles. And I actually say, if this I was to rewrite the Bible, I would not say Jesus walked on water. I would say Peter walks on water, or Peter steps out of the boat. Because stepping out, as we were learning in January, we say the toughest step is the first step. The biggest stride is the first step. Because it means you are ready to be separated. Lazima utoke. Lazima utoke kwa wale watu ambao wanakuvuta nyuma, ambao wanakuambia haiwezekani na uamini inawezekana. Sababu katika kitabu cha Waebrania 11:6, kama hauna imani, hauwezi ukampendeza Mungu. Hauwezi ukampendeza Mungu ambaye amekwambia nimekuita. And so the calling of God demands to live. It demands you to get out. And as you get out, it is because you know this, that when Jesus was coming, wakati Yesu alikuwa anakuja, bado mawimbi yalikuwa na upepo ulikuwa. Na inside that mess, Jesus was there. So, we call in slide 11, God is present in the mess. God is present in the mess. So he's calling you to come where he is. But many times we look at the mess and we don't see Jesus in the mess. Yesu anakuita katika hicho ambacho hakikai vizuri, sababu yeye yuko hapo ndani na anajua jinsi atakavyoishughulikia. And then the other thing I looked at, he had to have the faith, because he is supernaturally enabled. That is what is called grace. Now once he puts his faith in action, the grace will carry him. The grace, I always imagine how he must have felt, that now I am going through out of the boat to to the storm, to the wind, and that his focus was Jesus. Many times we preach on focus when we look at this text. And don't focus on anything else, focus on God. In Matthew 8, Yesu anapovuka the same sea, kunakuwa na mawimbi, Yesu amelala. Wanapomwita, Yesu anaongea na upepo, na upepo unatulia. Lakini hapa Yesu haongei na upepo, anaongea na Peter, anamwambia uje. Na so in the mess, two things are likely to happen. God may speak to you or to the mess. God may speak to the wind or to you. If he speaks to the wind, your challenges, your problems, they will cease. Are we together? You are praying for him, he speaks to your health, you get your healing. But if he speaks to you, he gives you the grace to be able to do the supernatural. Bwana asifiwe. So you need to know, what are you praying? What are you asking? Because Peter did not ask, calm the storm, like they did in Matthew chapter 8. But here he asked, bid me to come. And when Jesus tells him to come, he doesn't calm the storm. He's in the mess and calls him to come there. He enables him to walk. God shall enable you in your situation. God can speak to your situations. He is faithful. Because faith is substance. And I don't want to repeat because of time. Sababu tulianzia hapo. We were looking at my notes and laughing because I had looked at the properties of matter, the substance, and I thought I would do that, but I thank God because the Spirit knows. And that is why he brought Brother Nyaga to start it in the morning. So if you look at matter, matter has weights. Are we together? Unapopima kuwa chochote, that is matter. Matter ina Kiswahili ni chochote. Chochote ambacho ni kitu kina uzito. Are we together? Now I'm in Hebrews 11. Na inaambiwa basi tunaweza sema kuwa imani ina uzito na inaweza pimwa na inaweza chukua a shape na inaweza change from gas to solid to liquid. Are we together? And so here, to go to supernatural level, you must now be ready to step beyond the faith, beyond the natural things, because just shall live by faith. Now he has to stop what is called gravity. He has to overcome his history, he has to overcome his environment, he has to overcome himself. Whatever draws to yourself is called death. Whatever draws you to yourself is called death. Whatever draws you to Christ is called life. Because the nature of man, the body, that we are told, this one shall die. And go read Galatians chapter 5, you will see them. These are the things of the flesh. Whatever draws to itself is called death. But whatever draws itself to Christ is called life. So, he moves from death and overcomes death of the sea by stepping to where Christ is. Are we together? Sitaki kuwapoteza hata kidogo, nikimaliza tunamaliza. Now that grace makes you now overcome the common things. What are the common things that we go through? Sometimes it's a drunk spouse, unready children, non-performing economics. All this, you can go beyond them if you tell the Lord, I am coming to you. Are we together? To overcome those situations, those challenges. You know, people go to look for, tunatafuta vile nitakaa kwa nyumba yangu na bibi ama bwana yangu. Ninatafuta jinsi kazi yangu itafanya kazi. Ninatafuta jinsi nitakavyo survive pale ofisi kuna politics mingi. Draw to Christ. He'll give you the grace, either two things, either to speak to that storm or to give you the grace to carry on. That is what Peter was doing. As we look at it, Peter steps on water with waves and with the wind against him. And as he kept moving, I want you to see the other miracle that I saw, that he began sinking. He began sinking. Hiyo si kitu ya kawaida. Leo enda nyumbani utry, uchukue maji uweke kwa glass, alafu uweke coin. Does it begin sinking? It sinks. Are we together? Ati sasa, nilifundishwa na daktari kuswim, Bwana asifiwe. Na ninakwambia alimfanya nikunywa maji chungu ile ya Mombasa. You don't start sinking, you sink. You don't begin. Na walikuwa wananiambia tunataka usink ndio uchukue ukuje juu. Sasa uwanda. Sasa hao tunaona kutocha elimu. You don't begin, you sink. But the Bible says he began to sink. Alipoanza kwenda ndani ya maji. So you don't, in God, in Christ, you don't just perish. It's a process. Bwana asifiwe. Things don't just happen, they begin. And so when you start seeing, nilikuwa napenda kuomba siombi, it begins. Before the person tells us, niko kule nje, nilianza kulewa, it began somewhere. But we miss the point of beginning. That is the greatest challenge we have as Christians. Because we don't begin. Let me say, for example, you don't see somebody coming to church. That person has begun sinking. When you do, you must go beyond faith. Don't wait for the whole church to go for a gospel. Can you take a responsibility of calling that person? Can you know why are you sinking in fellowship? I've not seen you for 2-3 days. Is everything alright? I've not seen you coming for prayers. Is everything alright? He began sinking. If you're beginning to sink, we thank God because there is a solution. As he began sinking, he cried out. Are you crying out? When you put your trust in him, when you cry out, he answers. So cry out. Are you in depression? Cry out. Don't cry out silent. Do you think he was silent? Unafikiria si history yenye alikuwa anatoka ilimuona. Waliokuwa pale ndani walimuona. In fact, I imagine wenye hawako wanaongea sana kama Bartholomew vile tuliambiwa, alisema si tulikwambia tu. Sasa remember the kingdom dynamics. Hawezi rudi kwa boat akifika kwa Yesu. He has begun to sink slowly. The other miracle, maybe we have never seen. It is called immediately. Bwana asifiwe. Tuseme immediately. Immediately he cried out. The Lord reached out. Cry out. Because the Lord is reaching out immediately. Your situation is not beyond God. Go beyond that faith. Cry out. Imagine kama sasa hange tana. Tungekuwa tunasema Peter sank in sea, in the lake Galilee. But he cried out. As I conclude, Jesus asked, I went to read from King James, what did you doubt? I don't like the version that says why. Because in my Greek Bible, it asks what. T-T-I. That's the Greek word for what. What did you doubt? Did you doubt my capability? Did you doubt my word come? Did you doubt that I was here? Did you doubt that you can walk on the storm? Did you doubt what? Ni nini ambacho wewe mwenyewe unatia shaka kuwa Mungu anaweza? Ni nini hicho ambayo unatia shaka katika hayo mambo ambayo yamekuchanganya, ambayo umekuwa very stuck, you don't know how to deal with them? What are you doubting? Are you doubting the capability of God? Je, unaamini kuwa Mungu anaweza? Ni nini ambacho unaona ambacho hauwezi enda zaidi yake? What do you doubt? And I don't want you to look at yourself. Look at God in you. What did he doubt? And he says to you of little faith. So he didn't tell you don't have faith. Get the difference. You of little faith. Wewe wa imani kidogo. Kwa hivyo, vile tulisema, faith inaweza kupimwa. Yako ikipimwa iko kilo ngapi? Na tunasema ili tujue uzito wa hiyo imani yako ni kulingana na yale matendo ambayo unatenda na ile lifestyle ambayo unaishi. Sababu huwezi tuambia wewe unamwamini Yesu Kristo, lakini ukimaliza hapa tunakupata kwa pati. Ukisema hatupati hutapati. Never. You know? Hawezi kuwa unatuambia uko na imani ndani ya Yesu Kristo. Na pia wewe pia utakayepata pale ambapo watu wanasengenyana na wanasema mambo mabaya. Haiwezekani. Na ndiposa utoke katika hapo ka imani kadogo. Lazima ufikirie juu ya kutembea juu ya mawimbi. Sababu hii dunia ina mawimbi mengi sana. Politics ni mawimbi. Wakati mnakutana wadumu, do you talk politics ama football? It is the word of God. So lazima tutoke. What do you doubt? And so we need to pray. I'm really believing that God is able to change Kenya without the politicians in Africa. Why do we doubt? Why do we doubt? I know that God can raise somebody from the dead. Why do we doubt? I know that God is able to call things that have not been as if they are. Why do we doubt? We live by faith because we have hope for the unseen things. And the things we have in store are greater than what we have today. So, have the hope. And the hope he had is because Jesus had called him. Today God calls you. Mungu ndiye anaita. Katika hiyo changamoto ambayo umekuwa ukisikia you are very stuck, anaweza kuambia njoo, toka katika hiyo, kuja kwangu. Mimi nitakupatia chochote ambacho unahitaji. But lazima utoke katika hiyo history, environment and yourself to be able to follow Jesus and to be able to believe that he is able. Anakuangalia wewe, anaona. Ili ukaweze kufikia mahali anataka, lazima utoke katika hii chekechea ya imani. Uweke imani yako zaidi ya yale mambo ambayo unaona. Anakuangalia wewe, anaona. Labda hii kanisa wewe ndiye tunangojea ndio ibadilike, lakini bado umeketi. Because this is a word for the faith. The confessions of our faith. What do we confess? What do we believe? He is faithful. He is faithful. And he expects you when he bids you to come. And the last miracle, when I read this story, when he held his hand, they walked together to the boat. And immediately they got to the boat, the storm ceased. Bwana asifiwe. Walitembea pamoja, wakaingia katika merikebu. Nayo ile dhoruba ikaisha. Hakuiongelesha kama wakati ule mwingine, ilinyamaza. If you walk with God hand in hand because of the grace, the storms will come down. You don't need to speak to them. He doesn't need to speak to them because they must have them. That's a kingdom principle. That with God you are more than conquerors in Christ Jesus. You hope against hope so long as he's holding your hand. the song will now obey, you will walk together, and your destination is sure. That is the word of the Lord. Probably you are Peter, you need to stand up and tell the Lord, help me walk on this road. Probably you are the people left and watching. You need to go beyond the faith of being left and start asking for God to do extraordinary things in your life. Probably you are starting to sink. You need to cry out. Probably there are things that you are doubting. Look at the confessions of our faith. And with all that, even when there are things that I feel that I need God to work on me, as I read these texts, let us stand and pray.
Thank you for watching. We believe you were blessed. You can now download this teaching and other sermons on our website at www.gemruiru.org. Gem Church, a church built on love.